turn on your notification bell, you will still get those information you are looking for.
Nnamdi Kanu, we won't release him until we explore all legal options available to us. That's according to the AGF. Abubakar Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation, and the Minister of Justice, Alhaji Abubakar Malami, have stated that the government of President Muhammad Buhari will explore all legal options before they talk of releasing Nnamdi Kanu. He said they will not release Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, not until everything humanly possible has been done and everything goes in the favor of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. It is only then they can release him. That's what he said. He listed 4 cardinal points or things that will happen before they will release Nnamdi Kanu. And amongst them, he said that to release Nnamdi Kanu, first of all, these are the factors that must be considered. He said that those four factors must be considered. And first, the rule of law, the public and the national interest and security situation, and the international diplomacy. That is first. Let us get it very well. The first is the rule of law. The second is the public and national interest. The third is the security situation, and the lastly, international diplomacy. He said that the single case that has been determined is not the only pending case against Nnamdi Kanu. As according to him, there are numerous other reasons, other treason cases pending against him. He said, to release or not to release Nnamdi Kanu is a function of the law, and that the rule of law, for that matter, in arriving at a decision whether to release or not to release, 1, you look at the rule of law. 2, you look at the public, at the national interest. 3, you look at the security situation. And 4, you look at international diplomacy. According to him, he said, first of all, we should talk about the rule of law. He said, this is someone that has been granted bail on account of charges that have been preferred against him at the court. To the international community, a case of fugitive is established against the background of bail jumping. 2, arising from national security. This is someone that is charged with treason, incitement of the public, destruction of civil authority, a kind of murder and assassination of others on account of his incitement. That boils down to issues that bother us on issues of national security and criminality. He said, 3, on account of international diplomacy, this is someone that has turned against his person, using the international community or a foreign country to launch an attack against a nation, against his nation, for example, for that matter. So he said, all these naturally come into play to determine what you do. So if you have equally gone through judicial processes, multiple cases, a case of treason, a case of homicide, a case of jumping bail, among others, the fact that you have indeed succeeded in one case as opposed to multiple others that are pending goes to establish the fact that that case cannot be the only basis and criteria for determining whether you are entitled to be released or not. He concluded by saying that the simple question is whether what the federal government has done by way of not releasing Nnamdi Kanu is justified within the context of the rule of law. And according to him, he said his answer is yes, it is justified. He said this is because the single case that has been determined is not the only pending case against Onyendu, as there are other multiple cases associated with the treason, as we have said before. He said now there exist multiple appeals that are pending and yet to be determined. And then again, there are international public interest dimensions, and the essence of the government is the sustenance of the public and not an individual interest. That's the statement of the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. He said they are not ready. And from the available information, from what he put up here, it is crystal clear that the federal government yes, the federal government naba ball na-echekwa ball anaba. So tell me, if you are the one kicking the penalty and also the one, as a goalkeeper too, you same person, That means that for one, if you can score the goal if you want, and if you want to, if you don't want to score the goal, you won't score the goal. Yes, because you are the one person who is kicking the penalty, and you are the same person, as a goalkeeper trying to protect the ball from entering to the net. That means everything is in your hand. So Malami have said that the release of Nnamdi Kanu is in their own hands. That they have the powers, they have the authority, they have the court. Even the Supreme Court is in their bag. So they will do whatever they like. So whether the case in the Supreme is not giving them any concern or sleepless night, they know the outcome before the judgment. So that means they are jumping the gun. Yes, the federal government of Nigeria is jumping the gun. But I tell you, they will be astonished. They will be fogged to their marrows of what will happen in that Supreme Court. They feel that they have everything. It is in their bag, it is in their kitty. The Supreme Court justices, after all, the Chief Justice of the Federation, is an appointee of President Muhammadu Buhari. Of course. You will tell me that it follows judicial process. What kind of judicial process is that? Tanko, the immediate past Chief Justice. He didn't follow any judicial process. It was the executive fiat. They appointed him because they know what they want to use him to do in this country. And after he did that job so perfectly well, he said he is leaving office or retiring on account of age or illness. And you know that he has done the assignment. And so they have brought another person in. And so, but we want to tell them that they are not God. Man will always be man. There are so many things beyond human beings, beyond human comprehension. It happens quite often in our climate and in our world. It confounds man. Yes, when these things happen, they confound man. It is always beyond their comprehension, and therefore, Nnamdi Kanu's case is not an ordinary case. It's a case that has physical, spiritual, and mundane undertones. So nobody should play God. It will fog them. They will be nonplussed. They will be taken aback when the Supreme Court will make the right judgment, when they will want to, put their names in the annals of history and redeem their image. Because judiciary in this country has seen as, the appendage of the executive. And so it is a time to prove the people who have this notion wrong. And the case of Nnamdi Kanu is by no means, it's a very little case. No, it's a very wonderful case. The international communities, they are concerned. So many international bodies are interested. So we'll have international interested parties in that case. I have said it. The case is by no means